What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Daily Walk with Lance. This is where I take my morning Bible devotional, I record, upload, and share it with you guys. All right, y'all. Let's just get right into it today. I'm trying a little different structure, so if it feels a little weird, bear with me. But today we're going to be talking about our body as the temple, and the temple of the Lord needs to be holy, and how all things are necessarily permitted, but not all things are beneficial. And we make idols out of things and stuff like that. So, a lot of people are like, well, how do you feel about cigarettes? How do you feel about drinking? How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Well, this is where I point most people. Number one, if you make an idol out of things, that's a problem. No matter what that thing is, whether it's work, whether it's you know whether it's work or drinking or food or whatever it is, you could turn anything into an idol. Um, and this is just kind of that reminder, in the Bible directly addresses it, so that people can't say, well, the Bible doesn't address it. Well, yeah, it does. All right, so today we are in the book of First Corinthians, chapter 6. As always, I'm in the New American Standard Bible, and we're going to pick it up at verse 12, and we'll see how far we go. Um, and it starts off, all things are permitted for me, but not all things are of benefit. All things are permitted for me, but I will not be mastered by anything. Food is for the stomach, and stomach is for food. However, God will do away with both of them. But the body is not for sexual immorality, but for the Lord, and the Lord is for the body. Now God has not only raised the Lord, but will also raise us up through his power. Do you not know that your bodies are parts of Christ? Shall I then take away the parts of Christ and make them parts of a prostitute? Far from it. Or do you not know that the one who joins himself to a prostitute is one body with her? For he says, the two shall become one flesh. But the one who joins himself to the Lord is one spirit with him. Flee sexual immorality. Every other sin is a person that commits is outside the body, but the sexually immoral person sins against his own body. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God, and that you are not your own? For you have been bought for a price. Therefore glorify God in your body. And again, that is 1 Corinthians 6, 12 through 20. And that's just the rest of the chapter. But again, like I said, what this is getting at is, especially after Jesus came, and after the crucifixion, and after that, the Old Testament, we had to do sacrifices and offerings and stuff like that, and Jesus ended up taking a lot of that away. And so therefore there's more stuff that we can just kind of freely do now. Jesus didn't come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. So we are supposed to still hold the law, but our offering has already been done for us. It's just accepting it and saying that Christ was who he said he was. And this is the answer I give to everybody when they talk about drinking or smoking or eating sugar or caffeine or whatever it is. All things are permitted, but once you cross over the permitted line into you're harming you're harming either, and harming is probably not the right word. You're overusing or making an idol out of something. That's when it becomes a problem. And most people, whether, like I said, whether it's caffeine or sugar or tobacco or alcohol, whatever it is, it's not that the one drink or the one cigarette or the one having one condemns you. No, it's when, your entire budget is around that. There's things that if God said, hey, you can't do that anymore, that you just tell God, well, I'm going to keep doing it. So when you get to that point, that's when there's a problem. It's I enjoyed tobacco, but God told me no more, so no more. It's um, I enjoyed wine from time to time, but God said no more, and so no more. It's or I was drinking or eating too much sugar, and so God said you need to go on a sugar-free diet. It's whatever the thing is. If there's something that controls you, that's a problem, because the only thing controlling you should be God, and everything else should bounce off of that. It should be, like me personally, I enjoy the taste of tobacco. Like I truly enjoy it. And if I made everything around it, if I made it more important than God, then while it is permitted to do, I have elevated that thing to another level that makes it a problem. And most people, whatever that thing is, it's you just need to cut it off cold turkey, because most people can't just have the one drink, or can't just have the one cupcake, or can't just have the one drink. It's whatever it is. If you can't control it, you shouldn't do it. Like you said, all things are permitted for me, but not all things are of benefit. All things are permitted for me, but I will not be mastered by anything. So that's the if you can't uh, when you let's take like a work situation. Um, most jobs. It's a good example. Okay, I used to work in a warehouse, and every like 2.5 hours we got a like 10-minute break. If you couldn't make it 2.5 hours without thinking, "Oh, I need nicotine. Oh, I need nicotine. Oh, I need to go smoke. Oh, I need to go smoke," if that was, and that's how I was back then. Um, I was like, okay, no, this is a problem. Like, and that's when I had to learn. Okay, I like this, but granted, this is when I was like 20. So when you're 20, you do a lot of things to excess, not realizing you're going to an excess. But I realized, oh, this has way too much control over me, and I had to start cutting it back. Started cutting it off, and now I went from where I was smoking like a probably 2 packs a day to now one pack will last me like 2 weeks. Like, you know what I mean? It's what and I'm not just singling the smoking out. I'm just saying that's the easiest example. Um, like I said, it's when you start letting it have control over you and mastering you, and you lifting it up more than what it is. That's when it becomes a problem. So, like I said, I'll never look at a person who's smoking and say, "They ain't going to heaven." It's just not true. Number one, I don't know uh, their relationship with God. I don't, you know what I mean. Just because I see someone with a cigarette doesn't mean nothing. You know what I mean? It's like I said, if they're doing it to where it's an idol, it's a problem. But if it's not an idol, it's not a problem. But you have to be able to be honest with yourself about it. If you're not able to be honest and hold yourself accountable, then you just can't do it, because that's the exact way you go to excess and gluttony and things like that. All right, y'all. I changed the format a little bit today just to try something new. Um, Now, the part that I'm adding to the end and to the beginning, instead of saying, um, like I say before every video, I'm gonna say, like I say after every video, don't view me as a spiritual leader, pastor, prophet. I'm just the average Joe trying to show other average Joes that you can incorporate more Bible study in your life. That Sunday morning isn't enough, that you can do more. That even if it's just 10 minutes a day, start there. And then once you have that habit going, it's so much easier. It's so much less um, intimidating once you get it going. All right, y'all. If this is the first time one of my videos, if you would, please drop me a follow, hit that like button, share the video, leave a comment. I don't say that to be a grifter. I say that because that's the way the algorithm works right now. It used to, like, keywords were big, search terms were big. Well, now it's short titles and interaction. So do this for anybody that you enjoy their content, not just me. Anybody that you enjoy your content, number one, help us with prayer. Number two, help us with algorithms. All right, y'all. That's going to do it for me today. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.